What's going on, guys? CB Bricks coming at you with another LEGO Star Wars MOC showcase. Today I'm going to be showcasing my latest Force Awakens MOC, and this is my First Order Stormtrooper 2-scale replica. Now, here I have him right here, and he's just set up in a nice little pose there with, some greenery. This isn't really part of the MOC, but it's just kind of adding to it. This MOC itself measures, or just the figure himself measures to be about 4.5 inches tall and fully extended. He's about 2 inches wide and about 3/4 of an inch thick. So without further ado, let's get right on to the actual review. So right off the bat, I'm just gonna say right now that I already mentioned that this isn't really part of the MOC, but what it is, it's I'm pretty sure it's a 16 by 16 base plate, that dark tan with some grass pieces, some greenery added, and I just have him attached to a little clip back there on his heel, and he just sits there, and this is his pose that I will display him in. But for now, I'm going to take him off his stand, and so that you guys can take a look at him. I'm just going to remove this clip here. Here we go. And there you can see what it looks like. Just some flowers, some stuff. Pretty cool. Now here we have our First Order Stormtrooper. Without that, and man, do I love this figure. Basically what I tried to accomplish here is to try to get to use this minifigure helmet that came in the Force Awakens sets, and to actually create a 2-scale body for him using current LEGO parts for display purposes, with immense articulation and some pretty, to look pretty good. So yeah, I created this, and I think I accomplished it pretty well. Some of the proportions are a little bit off, but I think it's fine. Here we have his gun. We're going to take a closer look at that in a little bit, but for now, I'm just going to remove this, put it off to the side. There's no real good way to store that gun because it's big and chunky, and it will kind of take away from the rest of the build. But for now, I'm just gonna straighten him out. And just by seeing how I can straighten them out, you can get a good idea of the articulation in this, which is pretty crazy. There we go. We're just gonna get him looking straight. So yeah, that's him, and you can get, or her, whatever, but you can get a good look at his proportions. For me, I think it's not perfect. The shoulders are a little bit too big, the body's a little bit too long, but I think for its purposes of stability and functionality, I think it's perfect. So I'm going to go into the articulation right now. You can see that it actually has a pretty good rotation in the head, which can move about that far, which is pretty realistic. Here we have a little bit of shoulder articulation to move upward, and we have plenty of it using stud friction going that way. Down here we have an interesting joint, which I'm sure that I'm going to actually do a tutorial for this later in the future, in the new year, and you will actually learn how to do this and other cool building techniques involved with this MOC. Yeah, you can see that rotates at the elbow, nice range of motion there. It actually rotates that way as well because of stud friction. We have rotating at the elbow as well there, and we have a rotation at the wrist, which allows for great articulation. You saw how that kind of went down there. Sometimes it slides out, and that's just the way that it's attached. So don't get too scared. That's just how it works sometimes. So yeah. Down here at the bottom, we have waist articulation, which was really important for me. We have nice hip articulation, forward, back, side to side. We have knee articulation, and we have foot articulation right there. And we have another joint right there by stud friction. So yeah, now take a look at the details. You can see how the chest is built up. It's pretty nice. Just looking at this, you can see that actually without the helmet, it's not very proportionate because the helmet itself is a little bit big for the minifigure head. On the back, you can see that we have a backpack, and here we have his gun. And this is his actual side gun, and it just attaches to a clip, and you can go ahead and attach this to his hand whenever you want to, just like that. so you can get a nice look out of that. The feet themselves are attached by T-joints, and they have heel counters by using those little clip pieces, and they allow for easy and effective stability or posability, as you can see, like this. Let me just move that out of the way a little bit. Just easy and effective posing, and you can get really nice poses out of figure with this sort of articulation. So really quick, I just want to take a quick look at his weapon. This is his weapon. This is based off of the one that they have in the movie. Don't know the exact name. Call me a noob, whatever. But you can see how it's built up pretty nicely. It has the little scope up there and the T-joint, and you know, it just attaches simply like you saw before. And what it does, it's pretty effective for what I wanted it to do. So you can just put the other hand underneath, get some really nice poses out of that. Man, does that look good. So yeah, now we're gonna go into our final thoughts about this MOC. So overall, I am extremely happy with this MOC and its outcome, because everything that I had in mind going into this, I accomplished, meaning very stable, very sturdy, very posable, and very good looking. So yeah, and the great thing about a system about this is that you can, it's very versatile, and you can change up the colors or anything to change the figure itself. For instance, you could change the helmet and the colors to make it Darth Vader or a Kylo Ren. You can make a Snowtrooper just by adding one of those. You're just comparing it to its figure itself. You can just see how more realistic this looks with this same exact helmet, and it just kind of shows off what you can do with these Lego parts. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. So thanks for watching, and leave a like and subscribe.